Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. Now today I'm going to be potting up my Aloe elgonica succulent plant, and this particular aloe is one that I've grown myself from seed back in 2015, and it's in desperate need of a repot. It's actually quite a lot of Aloe elgonicas all in the same pot. And what I could do is I could actually separate them all and then pot them up individually. But I think I'm going to keep them all together because it's just going to save on space. And I like the look of it all bushy like that. And I've got the next size pot up, quite a bigger pot, I should say. And I've made up the succulent mix, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Now, if you want to know how to care for and grow aloe plants, including the famous aloe vera, as well as all aloe varieties, then do check out a video I have made on how to care for and grow aloe plants. Links up above and also down below in the video description. And if you want to know how to grow aloe from seed, like this one here, then do check out a video I've made on how to grow aloe plants from seed. Links up above and also down below in the video description. And if you want to know how to take cuttings to propagate aloe plants, then links also up above and down below to a video I've made on how to propagate aloe by cuttings. And here we go, guys. I'm going to be transplanting this lovely aloe here, or a group of aloe I should say. And what I've done with the soil mix, I've used a very well draining succulent soil mix. I've mixed 3 equal parts of loam. In this case I've used John Innes No. 2 mixed with grit and sharp sand at 3 equal parts, so it's going to be very well draining. But when it comes to potting up aloes, you can use any well draining cactus and succulent mix of your choice, as long as the soil it dries out quick. And obviously when you water your aloes, it drains very readily, so it's not the type of soil that holds water, because all succulents do not like to have wet feet for long. So a good quality cactus and succulent mix is advised. And here we go. I've put the soil in at the bottom already. Got about 3 inches there. I'm going to be then sharing in the video, moving this one on into here and then putting all the soil all around. Now obviously to loosen this up, I have already loosened up the root ball by putting a bit of a blunt ended edge of a spoon here just to loosen it up. It's been a while since this has been repotted, so it's in desperate need. As I say, elgonica, 19th of May 2015. And in the how to grow aloe from seed video that I've just been talking about there, these are the actual seeds that are actually sown. This is the result of them. I also sowed Aloe arborescens at the same time, also doing very well. But 5 years old, hard to, I think they're just past, obviously bigger than seedlings now. So loosening it up, I think that's good. And just want to mention with aloe plants, and this is also the same with gasterias and haworthias as well, when you do repot them, and I don't know what these roots are going to look like till I have a look, it's very common for the roots to sometimes die back, and they sometimes go dry or brown, or they've just died off. Very common, because they're always producing new roots. And if you don't repot them at least every 2 years, this will happen. And what I recommend doing then, and I've actually made a video on how to repot aloes, gasterias and haworthias, and in that video I mention about pruning the roots. I know a lot of people might be horrified and they think, oh, you can't cut the roots off, because normally when I'm doing cactus and succulent videos I say don't touch the roots as little as possible, you know, it's really careful. But in this case, with these particular type of plants, the roots are very fleshy and they do die back, and they actually benefit from having the roots pruned. You can prune back the roots and cut them back to the fresh roots, and the plant will actually benefit from it. The trick is you need to leave the plant after you've pruned the roots off, leave the plant unpotted for at least 24 hours, depending on how much root pruning you have to do. Otherwise, if you prune the roots back to the fresh roots, then you just put it into soil again, it could rot. But just leave them to callus over the roots, about 24 hours or longer, depending on how big the roots are, the root system. And no problem. I find I have to do that with a lot of my gasterias especially, and no problem, as they really benefit from it. So that's loosened up here, so yep, that's great. So I'm just going to take that here and move that away. There we go, guys. And what you want to do is obviously, as I mentioned there, check the roots. And happy to say, it's pretty much okay. And as I say, I've used pretty much a similar soil with this as well, with these. Now, that's sort of okay. But I mean, I could, if I wanted to prune these roots, I could do, and then leave them to dry. But as I say, they look pretty much okay. I'm going to just leave this as it is, loosen up the root ball a little bit. And I'm going to be putting then into the new bowl. So it's good to loosen up the roots anyway, because it helps it acclimatise to the new soil. And see, you can see okay there on the camera, guys. Lifting it up, putting that then in here, so it fits in there nice and snug. All I'm going to be doing now, just lift the camera up so you can see what I'm doing better, is putting the soil all around the edges here, so it gets all the soil going around. Turning it round, you want to make sure the soil is all around the edges, and this is sort of good because it's like a sort of flat edged little potting up spade. So this is great for this. And then tap it down, so you want this soil to go all the way, you want this to go all the way down the bottom. And we're doing this all around the edges of this, making sure it's all in. I'm going to show you what it's like when it's all done. Now that's the soil all around the edges, and as I say, tapping that to make sure the soil goes all the way down to the bottom. And then I'm gently just sort of pressing down on here to make sure that the plant is all pressed in. And what I'm going to be doing now is I'm not going to be watering this aloe now for about a week, just to allow the roots to acclimatise into the new soil. Then I'm going to give it a good drink. And it's always the best time of year really to repot succulents, either the spring, summer or early fall, autumn. But it does depend. Aloes, you see, there can be sort of winter growers as well. Some of mine grow in the winter and some of them grow in the summer and spring and pretty much all year, so it can depend. But whenever you do repot, whatever time of year, I always think it's good just to leave them dry, just to allow them to acclimatise into their pot. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to know a little bit more on growing cacti and succulents, then please do check my website out, desertplantsofavalon.com. And if you haven't done already, please do subscribe. And I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye. Bye.